what's up guys? Houston here. If you're trying to get up to $50,000 in credit card funding, I'm gonna tell you 7 secrets, and one of these I guarantee most people are not even aware that's stopping them from getting up to that $50,000. All right, so the first one is in terms of what I mean by that. Each region, they have their own separate regulations, and the reason this happens is because with a lot of banks, say that you're in Texas, okay, and then you have another bank like Wells Fargo in New York, right? But Texas takes a big loss in that region, right? But New York, they're flourishing. So if you're in New York, even though you may have the same credit file as a person in Texas, because you're in that region, you may get a lesser amount, okay? So this is why I tell people it doesn't matter that that person got $50,000 to think about it. What region of the country you in, that really takes a toll in terms of what it is that they're willing to give you, because they look at what type of losses that institution has taken in that region. All right, so this is something that most people are not even aware of. All right, so number 2, now most of the time when you're going for like a credit card and stuff like that, when you're talking about credit accounts on the file, so in terms of unsecured, are they secured? What's the balance of these accounts? Okay, so you may have accounts that are over 10%. All right, now the reason I said 10% instead of 30% is because what ends up happening, most people are not aware. It's always been the norm. Keep your accounts under 30% utilization, right, to affect the credit. But actually, that's not true. The actual number you want to stay on is under 10%. That gives you a higher credit score boost, okay? And most people are not aware of this. So that means that even if you have the availability to make 2 payments twice before the statement closing date, I always tell people to pay your bill 3 days before your statement closing date. This is going to give you a better credit boost. All right, so depending on the amount of the credit card that you're actually utilizing, so the type of accounts that's on the file. Now here's the thing about it, you can have revolving credit card accounts, but what would also throw it off if you don't have an installment loan on the credit file. Not having an installment loan on the credit file, that can throw your credit score out by 40 points. You don't believe me? Trust me, I've been in this industry over 2 decades, and I know because I done paid off many installment loans and actually dropped my credit score. As soon as I got another installment loan, gave it about 90 days, guess what? My credit score went back up. Now, and again, the average has been, for me, I've always seen about 40 points that are dropping the credit score because I paid off an installment loan. All right, so the type of trade lines that are on the credit file, it does matter in terms of when you're applying for credit cards and stuff. Now, the next one, if you're trying to get a credit card or something like that, and you're on welfare disability, I would strongly suggest that you don't anticipate getting a $50,000 credit card. The reason is because you don't have enough income. Now, something else I'm gonna add to that, if you're in a household, you're on welfare disability, however, you have other people that are contributing to your income, say a spouse has a job or something like that, then, or you're renting out a room, or you're doing something else to bring in extra income, that extra income added to your income, then stating that on the credit file, then that would help you get up to $50,000. Now, what's usually the average what's usually the average income when people are trying to get at least up to $50,000? This is what they usually average, all right? About 130 and up. 130,000 and up, all right? When you're trying to get closer to $50,000, all right? Now, Does that mean that an individual cannot build their way up to 50,000? No, it doesn't mean that. But in terms of when lenders looking at your credit file, the income that you put on that application, that's what they're verifying to see what it is. Now, I'm gonna tell you, for most people, I definitely don't encourage you to be facetious and try to take advantage of financial institutions, because now that they use Plaid, they use other systems and stuff like that, what ends up happening is that they will actually take a look at your checking account to see what type of deposits and stuff that are going on. All right. So, and it also, if you put a certain number on there, especially like with American Express, and say that you want to get a credit limit increase, right? Here's the key to it in terms of credit limit increase for a higher credit card. With American Express, I always tell people you only want to go up to 3 times what your current limit is. All right. If you go over that and you're trying to get a higher limit, they're going to want to do a 4506C for a consumer. All right. So that's the thing about it. You have to be very careful about it. Plus, they may want to see pay stubs as well. All right. So you got to be very careful in terms of the amount of income unless you're able to verify and back it up. All right. So this is another thing. Number 4 is relationship. Is so important. This is why I continue to tell people, when you start with a new institution, okay, and you have a credit score less than 680 credit score, I probably wouldn't try to automatically apply and expect a high limit credit card. Okay, I would not do that, because a lot of institutions, they want to start you off with a low limit, especially like with FICO 8 type of institution. That would be like Chase, Citibank, Capital One, American Express, Bank of America. Since those are FICO 8 institutions, then you coming in, you need to, I would always tell you, encourage you, even with other institutions, I always tell you to open up a checking account, if possible, savings account, do a small low dollar CD or money market account. And this is key for a lot of these institutions, because then they see when you're invested in a money market account, a CD, then they know that it's actually long-term. A relationship is what they see that you're actually having with them. All right. Now, another key is if you're able to do direct deposit. Now, for those of you that are independent contractors, for those of you that are in the side gig, side hustle and things of that nature, for you to do direct deposit, you would have to probably structure your business, in which we actually help you do, and then put yourself on payroll. Also, another thing that we actually help you do. All right. These are things that we actually help you do. And the reason that you want to do that, not only just to go after credit cards and stuff, but there's other lending institutions that will not focus on the personal credit, that you will be able to help qualify for more funding without using your personal credit. So that's the reason that we encourage you, as a independent contractor doing side gigs and stuff like that, you really should structure yourself, because you're leaving money on the table. You're missing out. Now, another one is inquiries, right? Now, here's the thing about it. I always tell people, when you have above 6 to 8 inquiries on your credit file, a lot of institutions, I don't care, even if you have a high credit score, they will turn you down. Now, some of the ones that may have flexibility, you have Amex, MOPNC. Those are just a few that will work with people that may have high inquiries. Okay, of course, American Express, because once you're with American Express, they don't do a hard pull on the credit score anyway, right? But with PNC, BMO, they definitely are more flexible when you have a high inquiries on the credit file. All right. So another one, your credit score does matter for most of the time. But here's the thing about it, what baffles people, because they would go to like Navy Federal with a 550, 580 credit score, and Navy Federal will tell them you qualify for a $10, $15, $25,000 credit card. And people are like, well, how are they getting $25,000 credit card? Again, it goes back to the relationship. The relationship. How long have you been with Navy Federal? How many times have you opened up other products and stuff, in which that actually is number 7, the accounts you have. All right. So the relationship and the amount of accounts you have with them. That's the reason, like with Navy Federal, the internal score, in order to get a higher internal score, in which the internal score goes from 100 up to 450. And I always tell people, if you can, do a direct deposit, open up a flagship checking account, a savings account, a money market account, or a CD. Now, if you have bad credit, you can add on a pledge loan as well as a secured credit card. All right. And all of those accounts, again, help you with your internal score with Navy Federal when trying to get higher limits. Like I said, if you have real bad credit, a lot of times with Navy Federal, by you having multiple accounts, they will automatically bypass you from that secured card and open up a unsecured card, which is the green rewards card. All right. And they may start you out with $5,000, $7,000. Instead of you graduating from a secured card to $2,000, they may start you out with $5,000 because you have multiple accounts. All right. Now, I just wanted to make this video to give you the breakdown, because a lot of people, they're wondering, well, how come it's so hard for me to get $25,000, $50,000 credit cards? Because again, if you're not applying these 7 methods to your funding situation, then that's why you never looked at those. People are not telling you these things. All right. Now, if you need help with removing negative items, need help with trying to get access to personal credit funding, business credit funding. And by the way, we finally finished our new ebook, which also comes with a flash drive of credit repair. So if you have any question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.